All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking out my videos and stopping by. Something new today is a 2022 Dynamax two-seater 1000 turbo. Gonna do a couple things to this thing. First is an oil change and little service work, and then going to install a set of Gorilla Whips with a lighted LED rocker switch that'll go up here. Just like the previous video that I posted regarding the installation of the Gorilla Whips, this will just be on a two-seater this time, so the installation is pretty much the same as before. We're going to start in the back, drill in the holes. You can check out that other video if you like how I did that on those side pieces over there. Same thing, going to run all the wires down in through the bed engine compartment, through here, down through the center console, and then up, tying into the pulse system, I think they call that, from Polaris. Basically, it's a bus bar, and then we'll put a lighted rocker switch right in there again. Also going to put in a glass windshield, and fenders will be next. Don't think we'll get to that this week, but the customer wants it back, so we'll bring that back in, do some fender flares and mirrors as well. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple other things that we'll put on the second time around, but just wanted to show you this machine here and give you an idea of kind of what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so we got the oil change done, checked the front and rear differentials, and then just got done installing the new glass windshield. So this is a Polaris part number. Pretty easy to install. So this machine already had a aluminum roof on the top of it. So pretty much what you do is you take at least that front screw out. I took those two screws out on both sides just to make it a little easier. You slide the windshield up underneath it and then reinstall those bolts. And then on the inside, comes with these clamps here. Well, you can see it there. So it comes with this, basically like half of a clamshell type clamp. It slides on a bracket that's coming down this way, and then it just has one screw that goes through. There's a nut actually welded on this bracket that comes down from the windshield frame. That's it. Pretty simple. It's vented here, so from the inside of the machine, you push out on the bottom of the vent, and that'll open the vent. All right, so next is installing the whips. All right, guys, so just getting started installing the whips on this machine, and I just wanted to take a minute to, I guess, again, show why I like Polaris machines so much. I do work on every brand of side-by-side and ATV dirt bike out there, but Polaris continues to amaze me at how they do a little forward thinking for, I guess, not only their mechanics, but also for people like myself, or even DIYers. So we're running the whips cables from the back down in through the engine compartment. We'll end up pulling them down through here. So I already removed that top panel, which was the same on the four-seater from the previous video, but I wanted to stop here and show you this piece, right? On the four-seater, this piece came off by itself. There wasn't a center console piece like this. But this is how you remove this, and this is why I like the Polaris, okay? So in order to do this, you undo these quarter turns, take those off. There's also another one over here, okay? And that's it, right? You get to that, pop open your center console. There's two more quarter turns in here, okay? That's it. And this thing's ready to go. The whole piece comes out as one. See that? Look how easy that was. If this was a Can-Am machine, there'd be like 40 of those plastic body pins or push pins or something. You guys know what they're all about. So anyway, just want to take a minute and show how easy that comes out. And again, this is another reason why I like Polaris. So now you have quick access to the air filter and then the oil filter down there. So, all right, we'll keep going. All right, so continuing the work on the install of these Gorilla whips on this 2022 Pro XP Turbo. Just wanted to show you again, if you didn't go back and see the 4-seater video that I did, just kind of give you an overview of what happens here. So took the bed piece out. I believe there's 4 bolts that hold that in. And then also took the bolt that comes out of here. There's a couple of those push pins that go into here. And then drill this hole out so that way the quick disconnect piece can slide down in there. Okay. That's got a spring in there that holds that. So that quick mount is bolted back underneath there to that plate, as you can see. And then I just ran the wires down through here. I'm going to give it a little bit of slack so that way as this bends, it'll pull up on that a little bit. Also allow you to pull up on this a little bit and then disconnect those wires. I'm going to run those wires down here. Get this all cleaned up here in a minute. And then this runs to the splitter. Got temporarily right there. So there's the splitter. We'll connect the power and ground onto this. And I'm going to feed that through that part of the frame there, that rail that goes all the way down. Show you what that looks like inside the cab here. So that'll come out right here. Then we'll run the wires down into the center console, all the way to the front, and then up, and then inside the storage box. See it back in here. This is where that pulse system is. So we just use that pulse connector. And I already removed one of the blank plates here. That's for the lighted rocker switch. So I just wanted to show you that is a little bit different than on the 4-seater, especially back here in the back. On the 4-seater, we actually had like another rail back here that we were able to zip tie the wires to. On this particular one, I'm just going to pull this back to here and zip tie it to the wires for the backup camera. But this part is pretty much the same. You know, use a step bit here. I don't recall that size, but just big enough to where that mount can fit through it. So that part of it's pretty much the same. All right, guys, continuing the build for this 2022 Pro XP Turbo. Just got done installing the Corbin Custom Works turn signal kit, horn kit, and hazard lights. And before I buttoned everything up, I just kind of wanted to show you kind of where everything goes here. Very good detailed instructions. They tell you exactly what to do as far as taking the fenders and everything off, you know, the rocker panel along here. And then they give you some suggestions based on your machine as far as the routing of the wires back up to the rear tail lights. Again, very easy wire harness to put in. Very detailed instructions. Everything is pretty much plug and play. You take the old connector out, put it into their harness, and then plug their harness into like your tail lights. The only kind of modification or kind of difficult thing you need to do or just be aware of is if you are going to do the accent lights, so when the turn signals are turned on, these lights will turn amber. There'll be a new headlight assembly that has to be installed. So in order to put those in, of course, the old headlights have to come out, but the fenders all need to be at least loosened. In this case, this one is removed, so the main wire harness is going down in this way. But on the passenger side, pretty much just need to remove these mounting bolts here, a couple back in here, just so you can pull the fender away from the machine, okay? I'll get these all cleaned up and zip tied in here. There's the horn for the horn kit. go into the machine here. So as you can see there, we've got the hazard lights. Those are red. When we throw those, everything's going to flash. I did get the additional little harness that actually makes the turn signals in the instrument cluster light up. So that you can see that working. So turn those off. Go to right turn. You can see that's blinking. It's also blinking down here. Show you what that looks like in the front. So that's what it'll look like with those accent lights. There's nothing to do in the back here besides plug in, like I said, plug in their harness to the taillight assembly and then plug the old harness into their harness. That makes all the connections that are needed for that. All right, just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna get this thing buttoned up and we'll move on to the next thing. All right, everyone, I just got done putting the machine back together. So this is the walk around of the final product on the 2022 Pro XP Turbo. Again, I installed the Corbin Custom Works turn signal kit, license plate bracket, horn kit, Gorilla whips on the back, rock blocks, fender flares all the way around, with the accent pieces on the bottom. Customer just wanted to keep everything black, so that's what I did. See how those see how those work there. Okay, back in the back here. See how all that mounts. License plate bracket down here below. Again, turn signal kits are integrated into the existing tail lights. And then on the front, the accent lights and headlights assembly has to be replaced. So that way you can get these amber lights to flash when you have the turn signals on. Also on this machine, I installed the Polaris side mirrors. Also the Polaris vented glass front windshield. Take a look inside here. I'll show you the switch setup again. So Corbin Custom Works switch, all three of these, and then I actually ended up purchasing a switch from them for the whip switch, because the previous switch that I had just didn't match these switches, so went over to them and got a whip switch that matches blue just like all the other ones. The only switch that's red is the hazard lights, which is no big deal. I guess that kind of draws attention to that. And like I said before, they do offer a basically it's like a jumper wire that goes from their kit into the instrument cluster, and that allows those lights, the turn signal arrows, to be illuminated whenever you have one of the turn signals on. In this case, obviously I got the hazards on, so both of them are turned on. All right, I hope you guys like that walk around here. If you have any questions about anything I installed, just hit me up in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And we're already moving on to the next project. Already got it in the shop, getting ready to tear down. And I'll post a video of that when I get done. If you do want to see a video on the Gorilla whips, check out one of my other videos. I installed those on a Pro R 4-seater. Same process for installing those as far as the mounting process and how I ran the wires. All right, thanks for checking out my video, and as always, hit like if you like the content, and hit subscribe if you want to keep seeing more of my videos. Thanks for watching, guys.